Hey guys, it's Jake's Metal Chat. I hope you're all well. And before I start this video, I just want to say thank you for all the support you've given me. I have reached the 500 subscriber mark, and I'm still in a bit of disbelief that I got into that mark because, well, at first it didn't seem real, and it still doesn't seem real. But then the more I kept looking at it, I was like, wow, I got to it. And it's all thanks to you guys for all the support you have given me. It's just means an absolute lot that you like my videos, watch my videos, share my videos, subscribe to the channel, told people about my channel, and yeah, just thank you so much. Just thank you. And I thought to celebrate, and I'm going to do these videos every single Wednesday. I'm going to just pick some of my favorite death metal albums, be it straight up death metal, Death Doom, Blackened Death, Black Death Doom, Funeral Death Doom, Grindcore Death Metal, you name it, it'll be in this video and the next videos to come. And I'm going to start off with a band that is based in Denmark and the United States. This was given to me by David Ingram, who is based in Denmark and has been there since 1998, but is originally from here in the UK, a place called Birmingham. And absolutely awesome bloke. Got to see Benediction for the first time I saw Benediction was at Bloodstock with Dave Hunt of Anon Nafrak. But then I saw him with them at Scandinavia Death Fest in 2019 in Stockholm, Sweden. Fantastic. Just what a return for him. Absolutely just one hell of a show. This is one of his bands. He gave this to me when Benediction were on tour with Volbeat. They only did 2 shows here in the UK with him. One was in London and the other one was here in Bristol last year. And he gave me this. This is one of his other projects, which is the one I've just mentioned from Denmark and the United States. This is Hellfrost and Fire, Frost and Hell from Transcendent Obscurity, which was released last year. Absolutely just top-notch stuff. Awesome death metal. Here's the band themselves, and let me get up the list. So we have, of course, David Ingram on vocals. We got Rick on guitar and bass, and Travis on drums. Of course, bit of artwork there. Absolutely great. Love this album. Absolutely one that everyone should have in their collection. For anyone that doesn't know, what you get with this is just excellent death metal. If you're fans of Benediction and bands such as Among the Decayed and Cropsy Maniac, Down Among the Dead Men, the list just goes on with the amount of bands that these members are in. You're gonna love this. And what I get from this little logo, very much a big homage to Celtic Frost, as David is a massive Celtic Frost fan, one of the many bands that got him into metal. And got to see Triptychon last year play Celtic Frost material. Fantastic. And I can hear a bit of a Celtic Frost influence in this. Maybe that's just me, but I can hear it with the amount of death metal just crammed into this, and it's just excellent. So Hell, Frost and Fire, Frost and Hell from Transcendent Obscurity, released last year. Next one from 2021. This band's all the way from Florida. They start out as black metal, and now they're playing Death Doom, which has that mix of funeral doom and black metal. And the black metal that I get a lot from this album is definitely a rotting Christ vibe. And in terms of the funeral doom, disembowelment and skepticism, This is Worm and their 2021 release from $20 Spin, Forever Glade. Absolutely. It's dark, it's evil, it's heavy, and let's see if we can get the book out so you can see the book a little bit better. There you are, and the little bit of artwork right there, and I think there's no picture of the band, but some more artwork like this in the book if you do own it. I also have this on vinyl, but I was going through my CD collection to get some of my favorite albums out for this first episode of this video series, and of course have it on CD. Here's the CD itself. For anyone that's not familiar with Worm and you like that mix of Rotting Christ with skepticism, disembowelment, those bands, and like early Incantation and those bands, like the darker sounding death metal, they may not necessarily be Death Doom, but they have that feel. This is a band for you. This album's absolutely, again, evil, and also their album before this, Gloom Lord. Again, dark and heavy, fantastic band. Let me just get the back again. That's Phantom Slaughter, one of the main guys behind the band. They started doing live shows, and I want them to come to the UK so bad because I really want to see them. And I'm hoping that maybe next year, fingers crossed, they'll be in the UK. So again, this is Worm and Forever Glade from $20 Spin, released back in 2021. Now on to some old school stuff, and this is a band all the way from Sweden. I didn't see them at Scandinavia Death Fest, but I saw them at Netherlands Death Fest 2 back in 2017. This is their only album. It was released back in 1993. I cannot remember the label that released it originally, but this is a re-release from Relapse Records. And it is God Macabre and the Winter Lawn. Just a heavy, beautiful sounding album. But when I mean that, beautiful sounding, it's just, again, going back to the dark and heaviness of it. Because it is quite dark in some places until you get to there was one. No, I was thinking of something else. But such a fantastic album. My favorite song from this is obviously Spawn of Flesh. Because I'm trying to remember which song it is. It is on this one. It's got like an acoustic interlude. I think it's In Grief. I'm going to be listening to this again because it's just such a masterpiece of an album. Also got the CD and the band members themselves. Sorry, my throat's a bit sore or very hoarse. But yeah, let's see if I can. I think there might be a picture of the band here. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's some band pictures there. There, I can. Yeah. What's the vocalist? Just not the vocalist's name. Per Boder. I think I said that wrong, but he's right there with his glasses. There's footage. If you find footage on YouTube playing Spawn of Flesh, he's pretty much wearing those glasses on stage. He wasn't wearing them when I saw him at Netherlands Death Fest 2, no. But you're not familiar with this band. If you're familiar with like Entomb, Grave, Unleashed, Dismember, there's more bands like this that you need to check out. These guys, Carbonized, blanking on a few of them now, but there's so many of them, and I got some of them in my collection. General Surgery is another one. But this band here, this album, it gets overlooked, I think. I showed this in my favorite underground metal releases video, and of course, there's a lot of people that know this one, but it is one that gets overlooked if you've gotten into the genre of death metal and you're into your Swedish death metal. You might overlook this one a bit, but definitely one to check out. So this is God Macabre and the Winter Long. This is the re-release version from Relapse Records, and this album originally released back in 1993. Now one in 1992, and let's get on to him. Originally from New Jersey, but then moved to Cleveland, Ohio, before moving to Johnstown, Pennsylvania. This is a band that I've always been a fan of. I've been a fan of them for a long time, like a lot of these bands here. And I've had one of the members on the chat, John McEntee, who's now doing guitar and vocals. Was doing guitar from the beginning, but changed the vocal duties once Craig Pillard left the band. And of course, I'm talking about their debut album, which was released on Relapse Records back in the day. This is their 1992 debut, Onward to Golgotha. And what is said about Worm and Foreverglade, and of course Gloomlord, it's dark and it's evil. Of course, I got the re-release version here because it's got a DVD of some shows. The top bit is the album itself, so we got CD and the DVD. Of course, a band picture there, which John's right there. Greg's just right next to him. And there's another band picture right here. There you go. Just one hell of an album. Of course, the bass player, Ronnie, died last year, sadly. May he rest in peace. His birthday is on the 22nd, so I'll be raising a drink to him on that day. His work on this is absolutely great on this. All the stuff on this is absolutely fantastic. Of course, I've got my favorite songs. Of course, Devoured, Death, Unholy Massacre, Blasphemous Cremation. What's the other one? There's one called Christing the Afterbirth. And that's, of course, just a few of my favorite tracks from that album. The artwork's really cool. I cannot remember who did the artwork now. Let's get back to that. And the artwork was done by, what's his name? Miran Kim. Who, she's done a lot. She's done stuff for Abscessed, Arch Enemy, Defecation, Amorphous, and of course Incantation. And I might have said her first name wrong, so I do apologize. But one from the collection for any of you hardcore death metal fans out there is very Death Doom. Like I was saying, that Worm's got a bit of this album in particular. I think more this album than the others. And just one that you need for your collection, for all you death metal nutters out there, you death metal maniacs. So Incantation, Onward to Golgotha, released by Relapse Records back in 1992. Now let's get on to two from 1990, and I'm going to go with a band that when I heard them, I just thought, again, just really heavy, very doomy, very evil sounding, quite sludgy as well. This is the band all the way from New York City. This is their only release. This is the band Winter and Into Darkness. But I also got it with their EP Eternal Frost. So this is the re-release version. from Sparks Records, but the original album was released from Future Shock. And definitely when I hear Worm, I hear this band as well. Just, yeah, absolutely. Whoops, almost dropped the CD, which is the Eternal Frost there. And of course, from Into Darkness in there as well, the CD there. So we've got Into Darkness and Eternal Frost. And I think this is an album that gets overlooked as well. No one really talks about it. Not that I know of on here on YouTube. Maybe I haven't looked properly at other YouTubers that may have talked about this. But there's probably a few out there that are metal YouTubers that have talked about this album, do know this album, love this album, and rate this band very highly. Because I do. And they haven't been around for quite a while now. Last time they played was 2015, because one of the members currently can't do any live shows because he's been having where is he? Yeah, guitarist Stephen has had severe hearing damage, so was advised not to do any more shows. Which is probably which would be gutting for a lot of fans such as myself who have never seen these guys live, but his health comes first. But this band here, fantastic. The work those three guys put into this album, absolutely fantastic. And if Stephen does watch this, I hope you're doing well and your hearing's not as bad as it was. We're all here for you, man. So Winter and Into Darkness, released by Future Shock Records back in 1990, but re-released by Sparks Records. And now this is one of my all-time favorites from 1990, along with Winter. This was one of the first bands to feature keyboards for the first time in death metal. And you can probably tell who I'm talking about for those who are a fan of this band. For anyone that doesn't, well, this band I'm going to give you an introduction to. All the way from Florida. This is Nocturnus with their debut album, and one that really needs a lot more attention, and it is The Key. Just fantastic stuff right here. Got the band on the back. Mike is right there, Mike Browning. Just a fantastic band, really. And I don't know what else to say about this album, besides that it's just one hell of a release. You know, when it came out, and you know, when you heard the keyboards on it for the first time, you were like, probably like, what the hell's this? What, keyboards on a death metal album? But it works really well. And this is the one thing I forgot to mention to Cam Lee when I had him on my chat, because, well, if you look here, and I might have showed it in my Underground Metal Releases American episodes. I did 2 parts of that because I had a lot more, and I missed quite a few. If you look there, Cam Lee doing backing vocals. This is before Massacre's debut came out, way before From Beyond came out. So he does backing vocals on, let's see if I can remember. No, on Lake of Fire, Standing in Blood, Before Christ, After Death. And I think that's the only ones he does, if I remember correctly. If I can get them up quickly. Hang on, let me just get them up quick so I can remember myself. Nope, need to get on the key. Hang on a minute. Cam lead. Okay, it just says backing vocals on the Metallic page. But yeah, that's I think the only songs he did backing vocals on. If I get him back on again, I'll ask him about it. But for those not familiar with this band, do check them out. They do have another album out. And it's the only two albums I got because I haven't heard the other one because it doesn't have Mike on it. But the last one he did was called Thresholds, which is also a fantastic album as well. But this, by far, is the best one from their discography. So again, Nocturnus, The Key, released by Earache Records back in 1990. Now for the vinyl. And I got a few here. And this one is from a band that I checked out 2 years ago because they had one hell of a monstrous debut. And I'm going to be seeing them again next year for their headline show that they're going to be doing here in the UK and around Europe. I got to see them with Dying Fetus early this year in February. This is their brand new album. It came out back in I think around I think it was around May. So way before the album was released, they had songs out. And I knew I was going to like the album as soon as I heard it. This is Frozen Soul and Glacial Domination. Look at that. Fantastic. Very, when I think of this, I just picture how it looks when I was reading At the Mountains of Madness by Lovecraft. Definitely get that vibe from it. Is a black vinyl, and I'm going to try and get out, but I think, yeah, there's a picture of the band right there. I've had two of the guys on there, and actually they're quite close to each other. Chad and Michael. I've met pretty much all of them. They're all really cool guys. If you have met them in person, you know how great they are as people, individuals, just awesome human beings in general. And they do one hell of a show. Them at Dying Fetus back in February this year was just absolutely mental. And this album also, as well as their debut Crypt of Ice, just you're not familiar with this band. Like I've said before, some bands get overlooked, and I'm pretty sure these guys have gotten overlooked before. But anyone who's a fan of underground death metal knows Frozen Soul, loves Frozen Soul, and just goes mental for Frozen Soul at shows. And I did as well, because I literally got in the pit for these guys when they played SWX back in February, which is a venue here in Bristol, for anyone that doesn't know. Yeah, of course. And around here, it's got dedications here. You're going to recognize two of the names within the metal scene, Riley Gale and Trevor, of course. Just to all those guys dedicated there, rest in peace. But do get this album if you haven't got already. Frozen Soul, Glacial Domination, released by Century Media Records back in May this year. Now for this band, all the way from Scotland, I finally got to see them because I missed them when they played London in May for the first Necropolis there. Gutted I missed it, but I'm so glad I got to see him at this small venue. It's a pub here in Bristol called the Lion, Red Lion, but on the outside it's just called the Lion now, but I still remember it as the Red Lion because I saw a lot of punk and grindcore gigs there. These guys are all the way from Glasgow, Scotland. Been around since 2018. I got into them because of their EP Septic Funeral. This is their debut album, which came out in June, 30th of June. This is Coffin Mulch, and Spectral Intercision, which I also have on cassette, but thought I'd show the vinyl because you can just see the artwork a lot more. I'll actually get it out because this bag might be covering a bit more, but there you go. Got some artwork on the back, and let's see if I can. There you go. I love this. I love artwork like this. It's just yeah, I'm lost for words now. Got artwork in there, so you go from really colorful on the front and the back, and then you get the inlay here with just black and white, you know. I think this is just the black vinyl as well, but I got a picture of the boys here, of the lads, because the first one I spoke to was Al, really cool guy. No, sorry, it's an orange vinyl. That's really cool. I love this album because I was actually listening to this. Sorry, there's no picture there. And then back to them there. Yeah, because I was listening to this when I was actually going to the gig itself. And I thought, well, I'm seeing them, well, I say tonight, like in the evening, during the summer evenings are still very light out. So I went to that gig, checked out all the bands there. One of my mates' bands was on support. No, mate of mine was there watching him as well because he's into his punk and grindcore, his thrash, his death. And I'll put it back in the bag for later. And these guys are very punky. They're death metal, very punky. They got that HM2 sound, which when I asked the guitarist, does he use a HM2? He said no. But he's got a pedal which he put them together and it got that HM2 sound. So, but it's very HM2 sounding. And Al doesn't do your typical gutturals, growls. He does more punkier vocals. And you know what? It really works for this. Someone classed them as punky death metal, and I can see why. This album is definitely a testament to that. So again, this is Coffin Mulch with Spectral Intercision, and this was released by Memento Mori back in June of this year. Now, I'm going to get on to the last band here now. This album came back out in 2022. Absolute belter of an album. These guys are from Bristol. I know these guys are fantastic guys. They got a new album coming out this year in December, which I cannot wait. This is Cryptworm, and this is their 2022 release, Seeping Mephitic Putridity. Let me just get that out there. It'll sort out later. There's the artwork there, and then we got the back there, which obviously goes into that, and of course the inlay. Absolutely top-notch stuff. I saw this at Black City Records. Most of this is on Black City Records. The vinyl of Coffin Mulch's debut is. I got the tape when they played at the Red Lion. Frozen Soul from Black City Records. Winter as well. Pretty much most of the stuff I've bought so far has been from Black City Records. I also got this on CD. I thought, if you want to see the artwork in full like this, get the vinyl out. And it is pure, nasty, filthy, horrible death metal. Just just nasty sounding. And of course, they got a new album coming out, which is coming out on the 15th of December this year. They only got one song out so far as a single. It's their the second album, Oozing Radioactive Formation, which I cannot wait until that comes out, because like I said, this is filthy, nasty, horrible death metal. This album is just pure filth. And if this is pure filth, then the next album is going to be pure filth as well. And anyone that knows me, I know I like this stuff. So like Undergain and Hyperdontia, who are playing Necropolis next year. Morbific, bands like that, just that horrible, nasty, disgusting, putrid, vomiting sound. Just, this works. Absolutely love it. Love this stuff. And I highly recommend this to anyone. All these albums that I've shown, I highly recommend to those who love their death metal. You know, straight up old school death metal, putrid, nasty sounding death metal, such as this, Death Doom, Black in Death, Black Death Doom, Funeral Death Doom. You know, you love all that stuff. And then just pick these albums up, or if you can't find them, listen to them on Spotify, listen to them on YouTube, wherever you can listen to them. But if you ever see Cryptworm live, definitely pick this up and their new album, because I'll be picking up their new album. So once again, this is Cryptworm and Seeping Mephitic Putridity. And that's the whole list of bands for this first episode of my favorite death metal albums. And while I was preparing to get all these albums, I was listening to this. It is Carnal Tombs 2020 EP, Descend. Absolutely just, this is very HM2 as well, HM2 style death metal from Germany. There's the guys themselves, only 3 tracks, 3 awesome dark heavy tracks there. Let me get the CD the right way round, and a bit of the booklet there. Definitely one for the collection if you are a massive fan of HM2 style death metal, be it Swedish, British, American, German, French, Italian, Chilean, and Portuguese, wherever you get that HM2 fix, you're going to love stuff like this. And all the styles of death metal I just said, you're going to love that as well. So thank you very much for watching this video. And again, thank you for all the support, getting me to that 500 subscriber mark. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Thanks for all the support, and be sure to check out all the other metal YouTubers that I have given a shout out to in the description in my last video, and show them your support. And if there's any other bands that you would like me to talk about in future videos, anyone you'd like to have on the chat, then please do message me over on Instagram, which you can find on my YouTube profile, or you can find it down below in the description, and just message me on there saying that you want this certain person from this certain band to be on the chat. I'm already got a few lined up that I want to go and message, so I'm going to get on that. But once again, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for all the support. Keep the banner of metal held high, and I'll see you all in the next one.